A lot of our coaches that come up to us and ask about the platform, one of their main blockers is that they're already using video and they're already uploading it to Google Drive or Dropbox or YouTube or giving it to the players in some other format. And they're just not watching it. So they're not watching the match video without asking them to do anything. So why would they start to do analysis? Like, why would they engage in a platform like Coach Logic if they're not even able to simply watch the match? Right, so I kind of want to answer that question with this. So this is from a guy called BJ Fogg, who's a behavioral scientist at Stanford University. And basically it's behavior has a relationship with motivation, ability, and trigger. So these things have to happen at the same time, at the same right time to get a behavioral change. And so what he says, and this is what a lot of social media companies will use, is that motivation fluctuates between low and high motivation from person to person, but also from day to day for the same person. So it's something you can't control. So we've got to assume low motivation. Okay, and then you've got hard to do or easy to do. And if you think about motivation being something you can't control, then you can't make it hard to do if you expect to hit the trigger around about this point here, so this side of the line, because you need high motivation if something is hard to do. Therefore, we need to make it easy to do. Okay, and then we trigger something here, which is easy to do, requires a little bit of motivation, and they will change their behavior. They'll respond. They will answer that post or whatever you've sent them. When we send an hour worth of footage or 90 minutes worth of footage, we're asking for a big commitment. Okay, so their ability to find an hour and a half of their time to go and do that is limited. So therefore, the trigger and asking them to do that is hard. And you're going to have to find people who are highly motivated at that point in time to be able to action that and watch that full match. So that's one thing to bear in mind. Another thing I want to move on to is Gen Z and understanding your players. So if we look at a statistic like this one here, we watch an average of 6 to 8 videos per day. So we're talking small bits of content, okay? What's great about video is that they say it helps them. 80% say YouTube has helped them become more knowledgeable about something. So it is a source that they go to in order to get better. They spend 23 hours plus a week streaming video content. So they do a lot of it, just in small chunks like we've seen from other stats. And it also says that 70% of those people say it makes them feel more connected with others. So we can build good team culture around about our video content. So there's opportunities there. So how do we put all that into getting them motivated to do video analysis, right? How do we do that? So my method is that they're doing 5 minutes. My number one does 0 to 5 minutes. My number two does 5 to 10 minutes, and they contribute to the analysis using this panel here, and then using this red button, which means they can do it on their phone. So they don't have to, the ability to do it is easy. It's 5 minutes. It could be taken out of their pocket at any point, and they can do their 5 minutes of analysis. The next stage is really about finding information. So those that have got a little bit more higher motivation will come in here and they'll find stuff that they want to look at. And again, it's already been cut up into the small parts, not watching the full game. They want to look at a scrum or a line out or a kickoff. So they can just click on that, find all of those moments, click through those line outs. And if they see something that they want to discuss further, then they will send that clip out. And then maybe go forwards, and they'll send that out to the feed and have a discussion on the feed about that particular moment. Okay, so I've got players who will do that. Some of them will even go into creating their own playlists and contributing in more ways because they're highly motivated to do so. But that's something that I don't expect of them on a week-to-week basis. All I want is 5 minutes of analysis complete and then interaction on the feed. The next bit is to discuss the moments. So they'll get pinged this on their phone, they'll look at this clip. This clip is 10 seconds long, and then they'll be asked to have a discussion underneath the video with it. Okay, so this clip's been created by a player, discussion below involves a player, and then some of the coaching team. Other ones will be totally player-led with just players interacting on it. So let's go back to the original thing. If you have an hour and a half worth of footage, if it requires them to open up a big screen, their laptop or whatever, and a lot of time, it's going to be hard to do, will require high motivation. So you'll see that only your highly motivated players will take part in that. that does not stop you using a platform like Coach Logic, because what we do is say, here, break up the game into small pieces. Then you can send those small pieces for further discussion. If you want to, you can go further into that. You can create your own playlists. And for those highly motivated players, the sky's the limit. But you're going to engage all your players at some level, which is what it's all about. Okay, hopefully that's been useful. Yeah, feel free to give me a shout, ask any questions. Cheers.